Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today's video is going to be a bit different than anything I've done on my channel before, but with the release of the Twisted Wonderland animation, I definitely wanted to do something to just share my love for Twisted Wonderland that goes beyond, products or unboxings or things like that, and to really, talk about some highlights, some fun things within the animation. I know some of you are new, some of you are seasoned veterans to the game, and it's just such a great time and such a great community to be a part of, and I always enjoy reading your comments. Yes, okay, love the Octavanil scene, but I figured we're just gonna have some reactions, have some tidbits of information, what I liked, all a very positive environment, and just a lot of fun to kind of share and watch along, and definitely comment down below some things you noticed, some things maybe I said, but I just think it's gonna be a fun time. It won't be a straight up summary video, but it will have spoilers, so be forewarned. Definitely spoilers, not necessarily for the game, but definitely for, episode 1 of the animation. Such beautiful art. So with that being said, we'll start a little bit from the beginning of the story, but not a full-on summary, and I hope you enjoy this type of video. My goal is to maybe make one each time. Oh, look, it's our dorm leaders. So let us begin. I love the twisted part coming together, but yet it's still a little off-kilter, which, sums up a lot for Twisted Wonderland. I felt like the anime opened with a very mysterious, ominous beginning, especially with Crowley. And I really do like our Yukon character. He has very admirable qualities of being a leader, not giving up on people, encouraging people, and staying true to his beliefs. So you have the scene where he gets isekai'd, as it's called, which is funny because I learned about that term recently. I don't watch too much anime, but obviously it's his transportation into the world of Twisted Wonderland. Very cool scene. I definitely like how that was animated. The animation also did a good job walking you through the different dorms by representing, the dark mirror, the pictures, the connections. I thought that was really cool because you can give so much information in such a short amount of time, and I think they were successful in that. And of course, you don't have to know these Disney movies at all to appreciate Twisted Wonderland, and I think that's where it shines as well. But even the manga had like the original artwork. The game includes, homages and art from the Disney source material, so I'm glad the animation included it too. But these scenes also give you a little quick sneak peek of the overblot art, and I thought that was a very beautiful touch because I feel like right away from the beginning something's not right. Crowley literally says that time is running out. So I thought that was pretty interesting. So if you look closely, there's like the Leona overblot. I gotta show Octavanil. Come on now. Yes. Okay, so need to stop with that. But overall, it does set up the narrative, a narrative that still isn't even answered within the game, and that's after 5.5 years. So it definitely has a deep lore and story to be told in a bigger perspective. So when Yukon emerges from the coffin, teleportation, I don't even know, but the first thought is is he dead? Which good thought, but it's cool to see just everything play out and to see the characters. We saw it from the trailer, but their reactions as well to what happened. Azul pushing up his glasses. Kaleem, there's Jamil back. There was a lot of grunts with some characters too. Of course, it is the tablet. So good. So good. And Riddle views this as an affront to their ceremony, which is awesome. And then of course you have Crowley with the raven engraved into his staff. Very, very cool. I'm sure when we were watching along, you just squeal when you hear or see your favorite characters. And that is another thing that they did so well, which was a total surprise to me, was the fact that they fit in 21 characters. Ortho was missing, right? Was it just me? I couldn't find Ortho. And of course, Malleus doesn't show up till the end, little chibi theater, which is adorable and so funny and cute. Always watch to the end of the episodes after the credits, but I was so pleasantly surprised to be able to see and hear the huge cast of characters, and that was brilliantly done. I know going forward that may not be the case, but what a grandiose episode, and welcome to Twisted Wonderland. I also thought it was really interesting that when Crowley's trying to calm Yukon down as he's, confused, upset, and angry and wants to leave, he says, "You have no reason not to trust me." And Yukon's like, "I have every reason not to trust you." And I don't know. That's like, yeah, Yukon. I mean, Crowley, which now he says Crowley. Oh my goodness. Have I been mispronouncing it this whole time? I think it's Dire Crowley. I mean, let's drive home the crow, the crow imagery. But either way, Yukon's like speaking for us in a way. Do we trust him? I know a lot of people have mixed feelings about Crowley, but I think he's comedy. I think, he has a hand in things, right? Only time will tell. And what I thought was also funny is that Yukon calls everyone weirdos. He's like, "Who are you weirdos?" And that's, I don't know. I laughed at that. I love how they cut to so many of the characters. Here you have Ace and Deuce. Oh, they look so good. And Yukon has, denied his acceptance, says he has no magic, not interested, wants to leave, and everyone, can't believe that. This is such a prestigious school. So there's a lot of confusion and more confusion to come, but one scene is the Octavanil reaction. I'm not sure if I can play sound clips, but you know what? I kind of want to, because they're my faves. But I think this was such a clever way of incorporating characters while building up the suspense. And let me know how you watch this. I watch it both in Japanese with the English subtitles first and then in English. So, and that's just like a win-win situation. And that is such a great thing about, how they did the global release in the various languages you can select, because if you've played the game, and love the Japanese voice actors so much. They literally have shaped our characters, right? And we're used to reading subtitles. So it is a beautiful thing, and now you have, something new with that. So I am very excited for both. I think they did a wonderful job in the English voice acting cast. Okay, so let's listen to a little bit of the English cast. This is when Yukon's about to walk out. I like Crowley's reaction. It's like, what did you think, dude?
Come back here! A student refusing their admission is unheard of.
Goodness gracious. Quite rude, isn't he? Childish is more like it. Who else throws such unbelievable tantrums?
I want to squeeze this kid silly.
Oh my goodness. Yes! Floyd. Oh my goodness. Okay, I just have to go back to a screenshot of my boys. I think Floyd's voice cast, when I learned that there was going to be, an English dub, I was so worried about his. It's like, oh, how can you replicate that? But they did. His VA is amazing. He gets everything down from the gravelly voice to the spooky sayings and how he says it. It is beautiful, and he wins the best line of episode 1. There you have it, folks. Floyd Leach, best line. I want to squeeze this kid silly. And Floyd and the squeezing thing. And the little gremlin laugh he does. Oh, it is perfect. Look at Jade's pose right there. Again, captures everything both from the game and the animation, but very cool. And I like how these three are just the trolls commenting on the rudeness, the tantrums. Jade, you realize who you hang out with. But that was a brilliant introduction to the Octo Trio. So good. Kalim's voice and laugh was brilliant. Jamil looking so done. This is like the start of the year, already done. Leona falling asleep, trying to stay awake. Feel interested. I love Idia's tablet. The sound's only on. And again, Riddle's just that temper's building. Look at Trey. Trey's always checking in on Riddle, which I think is interesting and cute too because of the friendship factor. And now it's time for chaos to ensue. And you have the grand entrance of Grimm, which is pretty cool. He breaks through a window there. His eyes are glowing. His voice, okay, English, Japanese, I'm sure any language, Grimm is annoying, right? But endearing in his own way. I mean, he has the voice. He has the voice. I like all the jokes about, what he is and how he just refers to himself as a monster. Everyone ones like raccoon, cat, tanuki, which is really cool. So there's that funny moment, but then, you know, he wants the admission spot to become the great and powerful Grimm. And Grimm really does act like a child a lot of the times. The temper, the tantrums, but he also acts a lot on impulse, which, you know, is something that can get him into trouble quite a bit. But I think here is just a interesting example, and he's doing his magic. It looks all small in the beginning, but then here we go. Here we go. The flames. Oh my goodness. Just a lot of chaos ensues here. Students are running for their lives. Could you imagine being a first year at Night Raven College and this is your introduction ceremony? And you know, that's how it is for Ace and Deuce. They're freshmen. So I just think it's a great introduction to Night Raven College. And you know, the question is, okay, you're now surrounded by literally a school of mages, including the head mage. Who doesn't put out the fire? Like, seriously. And I think that's the point, though. Crowley, that's a learning curve again, could absolutely do it, but that's not what he's going to do. I feel like there's a test of how the students react, who does what, and I think that's very interesting. The students are very much left to their own devices, and some count that as, you know, irresponsible leadership, which, you know, hey, that could be the case, or is it something more? And I think that's a really, like, cool thing to look at and explore. I love all the things they included, both from the game and the manga, the whole Ace calling Deuce juice. So cute. I like that a lot. And then during the chaos, it is so fun to see how the characters react. This is like my favorite part. I guess I like chaos as well, but it is really interesting because this is how we get to see all the characters. This is our first impression, especially if you're new to the franchise, seeing this for the first time. This is the first impression you get of the characters, and it is handled very differently than the game or the manga, since these scenes are really new with the incorporation of the 21 characters. Crowley plays it up too by saying the school can be engulfed in a sea of flames and someone needs to capture the rogue raccoon, and then you start to get a glimpse of, I mean, like I said, like, dude can totally put out the fire. This scene, Kaleem, the kitchen mill protecting him, and then it's the famous, okay, his butt catches on fire. It's a fun joke, and look at Kaleem, again, just done. Just done. As much as I wanted to hear his voice actor, he just grunts. He just is like, that's it. That's all we hear from Jamil. Oh, it's so funny. So keep in mind, Kaleem's running around with his butt on fire. So comedic gold, and yes, that does happen in every version of the story. And then we have these two again, the Leech brothers, the Eel twins. I love this scene because as everything's on fire and kids are running the opposite way, they're running towards it and they're just taking in the sights. They're just having a grand stroll amongst the flames, wondering where on earth did Azul sneak off to. Oh, and here he is. The classic Azul pose and gesture. Oh, they work this scene well. And again, it is an original scene to the animation. But Azul, as we see the reactions of the different, you know, characters, Azul takes chaos and disaster as an opportunity for him to ingratiate himself to being a help to the head mage. He's always working an angle, and you know I love Azul. I mean, he's my fave. I love the Octo Trio. But, you know, at some point, I'm just like, you are trying to capitalize on the chaos here. And Iddy is watching on in tablet form, but this is the first time we get to hear his voice. And again, props to the English voice actor. I like his laugh too. I think those, you know, the creepy gremlin laugh of Floyd and Iddy's laugh are very hard to replicate. But I'm going to play this clip because he knows what Azul is up to. Let's take a look at Idia. He calls Azul the goat, which is an interesting reference. He uses a lot of slang in pop culture, of course.
Azul's the goat, scheming his way to better grades and special treatments.
Okay. I like Idia's laugh. That's perfect. That sounds so similar to the Japanese voice actor too. That they did a brilliant job. And Azul doesn't let up, which at this point, when they go back to the flames and everything, even I was like, yeah, you need to stop. Come on now. But getting stop he will, and this is probably one of my favorite scenes too. There's a lot of great scenes, comedic scenes. Was not expecting this, but as much as I love Azul, I was like, oh, this is kind of great. So let me show this one really quick.
For the sake of the school, I would happily...
Anyone! Someone put this bonfire out! I can't take
I like how after all that, Crowley's just standing there watching everything unfold, doing nothing to help. The little, like, oomph that Azul makes after getting knocked over is hilarious. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And poor Kaleem, like he didn't mean to knock him over. He went there to help. He's kind of running around with his butt on fire. So Kaleem's voice actor is brilliant. Does such a great job of the high-pitched, frenetic running around, screaming type of thing. It's great. And Crowley just standing there like, what's going on is great too. This is your school, dude. These are your students. I will never get tired of hearing Azul's cry there. And the subsequent falling to the ground off screen. Okay. Poor Kaleem, though. And what's even funnier, Kaleem's unique magic is water-based. Dude, no one's thinking. No one's thinking. Then we get to see Lilia wanting to join in on the fun, which is really cute. So glad to see. And then we see Silver trying to stop him, and Sebek yelling and then yelling. So that's that. I like this next scene with Jack because it does show a lot about his character. He saves those two boys and knocks the burning rubble out of the way. So he's a good boy. Has very deep voice too. But again, great job in fitting. Looking forward to that. Then you have Leona. He is definitely the king of the memes for this video. He's just fine. Sitting there, relaxing, ready to take a nap amidst the flames and the school burning down. I love that. Again, you get such a great, very quick glimpse of the characters, but this short little glimpse speaks volumes. It really does, which is really cool. And again, he doesn't want to be bothered. And what's really neat, and I like how he uses the herbivores reference too. Love that. But he literally tells Ruggy, like, wake up when it's over, and Ruggy does his little signature laugh, which is always a good time. Vil pops in. He's not going to raise his hand or do any hunting, which is pretty cool. We have Rook looking on as Grimm's setting fire to everything, which this scene's funny too because Rook isn't a hunter of beauty, appreciates beauty, but he appreciates like beauty and destruction. Like he's commenting on how beautiful Grimm looks with the flames, and it's like, dude, again, school's burning down. But what's really awesome, especially if you're a Rook fan, he speaks French and he has a French accent. So again, amazing job with the voice cast. And you know what? I do want to play a little clip of him because in the background, as he's admiring the beauty, you can hear screams of the students. Again, such a juxtaposition. It is quite humorous.
Beautiful. Monsieur Fuzzball is magnifique.
Then we have Apple, who is also a freshman, so this is his first experience, but he's feisty, and he's trying to catch Grimm, which I thought was cute, because he is trying to help, and when he gets flustered, he reverts back to sort of his, like, country accent, and I thought it was cute. I think that's gonna be fun for him, like, going back and forth with his little country accent. Oh, glad he made just a little second appearance. And then we cut back to the other first years, Ace and Deuce, and they can't believe what's going on. So again, this is their first experience at Night Raven College. And this scene, and I guess I will play it for their voices and what is said here, because I feel like it's an inside joke. Let me know. I mean, especially if you've been a longtime fan, do you think this is like an in-game fourth wall break with what Cater says in reaction to what they say? So...
What the heck is up with this school, man?
It's already a complete mess. Did you see that? They're not familiar with our game.
Cater, no one here is playing around.
I love that scene because both the first years are, what's up with this school? Deuce is like, this is a complete mess. And Cater's response is they're not familiar with our game, which could be, again, a reference to the game that started it all. I think that's brilliant. I would like it to be what I think it is, a cut and inside joke to the readers. Like, we're familiar with the game. This is just another day at Night Raven College. So I really, really like that. I think it's quite witty and quite fun. And then notice it takes Trey to say that, you know, no one's playing, which is cute too. And then it cuts to Riddle because Trey's watching this knowing that Riddle's reaction and anger and wrath has just been building and seething with this whole disruption and violation of the rules here with this abomination of a ceremony. And shenanigans and comedy aside, I really like how you see Yukin trying to usher people out as students are crowding the doors to run away. I think, again, his leadership skills are definitely there, and we saw that when he was in his high school before he got his Akide. And Riddle does catch up to Grimm, and even Grimm for talking all tough and doing everything he does start to see the anger and the threat that Riddle poses, and even that scares Grimm after being so obnoxious. And I think Riddle's presence is very menacing because, again, that hot temper that can fly into a very unexpected rage can be quite scary. I love Riddle's voice actor. I think he captures that rage so well. So let's take a little listen. I love this quote he uses too.
You misunderstand. I am judge, jury, and executioner.
I love that line, that he is the judge, jury, and executioner. Oh, that gives me chills. So good, so well delivered too. Yukin saves Riddle, which Riddle views as an insult that he didn't need saving. And that comes back a little bit later, but it's an interesting scene. I like this dynamic of the whole room, and then you see Cater and Trey off to the left there as they know what's gonna happen, and they're trying to keep it in check. But this quote's also so good.
You little punks don't know when to give up! I've had it! Silence! Your sentence comes first.
Oh, we get to see the pens for the first time in action.
The verdict afterwards.
But I love that your sentence comes first, the verdict afterwards. Oh gosh, so good. That twisted justice, right? Like the Queen of Hearts, and I love that reference. And it's carried out so well, so well. Riddle's unique magic is always so cool with the off with your head incantation, and it puts a collar to block your magic. And I love this art. Look at Grimm, because he's been collared, right? And his magic has been stopped. And look at his like droopy tail, his face, Crowley picking him up. Oh, that's such a cute little scene. I'm excited for all the fun reactions and drawings that occur. Even in the game, the reactions are always so good and cute. I like that. I'm really looking forward to Grimm's reactions to Idia, and of course to the Eel Twins. Oh, he has such good ones. So good. I love it. And after everything that ensues, I like how they just leave you. They leave Yukin on the floor. He does have like a little cut on his arm from saving Riddle, and that's one way he knows this isn't a dream, or else he wouldn't be feeling the pain. But like, anyone want to check on Yukin? No. Not at this school. And what's also really cool, because it's almost the end of the episode, but as he's sitting there and contemplating, I love the sound effect here. You just hear the click of Riddle's boots. So good. And Yukin doesn't know, like, you know, he thinks, oh, it's that kid that I saved, and oh, is he wrong? Riddle just unleashes a verbal tirade, and it's done so well because, again, he sounds so angry and legitimately upset. Upset of the intrusion, upset for mocking and insulting Riddle, I guess by saving him, and not knowing who he is. And then that's like insulting the Queen of Hearts herself. He calls Yukin a prodigious buffoon and a twit. And then we have a closing scene. Trey and Kate are there. They haven't intervened, but they're watching on to what occurs.
Your punishment will be swift and righteous, and your head will roll!
Okay. What a way to end the first episode. And this is the cute little chibi theater that airs after the credits. And the credits are so cool because they play the Hartslavul dorm song, which is Obedience. So good. And of course it has cool montages. I love the openings and intros. It's so pretty. Like the animation, the characters, it's all good. The chibi theater is so cute. They're like little charms, but it has a story too. I won't go into these, but I love the way it ends. And the last character we see finally is Malleus. We do get to hear him speak, but he's alone and forgotten again. There's some fun Easter eggs in the end scene too. I'm just gonna leave it on this one because I find it hilarious. Ace picking a fight with the cat. But what a fun ride to actually see our beloved game and franchise in animation form. Is truly, truly a dream come true. Feel free to leave me your thoughts, comments, any Easter eggs you found or analysis you wanted to provide or comment on. I would love to hear them down below. The reason I wanted to do a video like this is just to continue the conversation, especially before the next episode. I'll definitely have my Wednesday unboxing video, but I won't watch episode 2 till later after that. So maybe I'll do another one of these. I'm not sure about the copyright thing. I know I'm not going to monetize these videos at all, but just a labor of love and a fun, again, safe, fun, happy environment to showcase and share our love for Disney's Twisted Wonderland. So I want to thank you so much for watching. I know not my typical videos, but definitely something that I really, really felt strongly about doing. So until next time, friends, take care. Bye-bye.